As for internships, law schools don't care that much. It's LSAT score, then GPA, then everything else. And what is everything else? Everything else is your internships, your work experience, your volunteer work, your letters of recommendation, personal statement, addenda, optional essays, character and fitness statements, and so on. But it's really kind of like LSAT's 50%, GPA's 20 or 30%, and the soft factors are everything else. Obviously, the numbers will vary from school to school. These are not scientific. This is just kind of more theoretical, but this is how it works. You can look at LSAT's GPA calculator and actually input different LSAT scores to see what your chances are like at various schools. And I'll share that with you now if you want to see that. It's kind of fun to play around with a little bit. And of course, so much is theoretical until you have your LSAT score. But you probably have your undergraduate GPA pretty much fixed at this point. If you're prepping for the LSAT, if you're a junior or a senior, the GPA you're applying with is probably pretty much set in stone or close to it. But let's say you had a 3.2 and a 165. What would happen for you then? They have all these caveats here. Continue to search results. You can see, and they've ranked it, let's see, kind of like by alphabetical order, which is probably not the most useful for us. Let's say likelihood, low to high. All right, so a lot of these schools, you see Cornell, probably not getting in. Columbia, a lot of the top 14 are pretty low chances because 3.2 is not that great. 165 is a lot lower than it could be. But if we go down a bit, we see that Minnesota, decent chances. Fordham, decent chances. UC Irvine, pretty decent. Emory, 25% chance. Not so bad, not so great. But you see that numbers do matter. They matter quite a bit. And these numbers are based on the scores of admitted students, the fall 2017 full-time entering class. So the numbers are real. The numbers don't lie. So the best thing you can do right now for yourself is get a high LSAT score because, of course, your GPA is fairly fixed. And, of course, let's say you try really hard fall semester senior year. Wonderful. But how much of a dent will that really make if there are, 8 semesters in college overall? One semester is only a drop in the bucket. Yes, it's your most recent, and an upward trend is always nice, but it's not going to be earth-shattering for you in terms of its impact. But if, let's say, instead of a 165, you got a 170, how does that change things? We put it in now. What's the impact? Suddenly, Texas is now above 25% likelihood. Michigan is now 25%-ish, and Emory is now 50% and above. BU is above 50%. So your odds improve significantly with just 5 more points on the LSAT with no change in your GPA. Big impact from a few points more. After taking it in the fall, you honestly have, 4 months? That's enough time. At least that's enough time to make pretty much anything happen. So I strongly recommend putting in the time.